Hey, good morning, Frank. Up here on Burger Priest Restaurant, looking at the leaks that were reported. So right here at this HVAC unit is one leak that's in the kitchen. At the other HVAC unit right here, same thing, another leak that's kind of in the kitchen. And then there was some leaks reported in the dining room area, which is kind of the area I'm scrolling past right here. Now, as for the dining room leaks, I can see that there's a couple punctures in the membrane. This would make sense that water passes directly through these holes, through the insulation, and into the eating area. Now, those are two that I found. One thing about these roofs is the small punctures can be very hard to find, especially if they're hidden by things like patio stones. I've checked all the vulnerable areas, your pitch pockets, your flashings around the HVAC units. I'm not finding any vulnerabilities there, but I am seeing close to where the leaks were reported in the kitchen, is that there are some membrane punctures. Now, these punctures are a little bit different than the ones I just showed you, because what's happening here is you can see this peak. That's a fastener that holds the insulation down in place that runs through the deck. There's another one right here. What happens with these fasteners is they start to back out due to thermal bridging. So if we look over here, there's a number of instances where I can see that happening. You can see the fastener head forcing its way out of the insulation and backing up through the membrane. Those areas will become punctures, and this is typical of these type of roofs, these single ply roofs, is that they don't have any redundancy in them, first of all, so only that one layer of waterproofing, and they don't have a cover board that sits over the insulation layers and the fasteners. So as soon as we get any kind of change in temperature from the inside to the outside, these fasteners want to make their way out, and all they have to do is get through that one single ply of membrane. Here's another puncture I just found right here, so I'm going to mark that off. Now, this roof, they typically have about a 12 to 15 year life cycle. They're constantly exposed to UV. They're constantly shrinking and thinning. I think that the best course of action here is to conduct a thermal scan. What that's going to do, it's going to tell us, first of all, it's going to show us any areas that we're not seeing by the naked eye, small punctures that are allowing water into the insulation. The other thing it'll do is it'll give us an idea of how much time is left in this roof. I really think it's on its last legs, considering we have about 25 fasteners just in this immediate area that are trying to puncture through that membrane. We would suggest that when you do go back with another roof, especially if we can save the insulation here and save some capital costs, is that you do a more robust multi-ply layer roof, and not with this single ply rubber. This is really only 1 millimeter thick, has very little puncture resistance, and the multi-ply roofs provide a much longer life expectancy and a much stronger roof system altogether. So I initially looked at the HVAC units as the source of the leaking, thinking that maybe driving rains could get in. But now that I'm seeing the number of punctures in the immediate area outside of the HVAC units, I think that it's best to do a kind of a widespread puncture repair approach to this roof. And that may require removing these patio stones again, looking for additional punctures, and then patching. One thing that we can't tell is where the next puncture is going to happen, because those fasteners are backing through the roof. We really don't know where they're going to strike next. So definitely this is a leak source right here where a leak was reported. There's also another puncture right here. I don't know if you can see that in the shadow there. Right there, that line. As well as some of the punctures that are sitting in this pond in water. So I will suggest a repair for now, but also I think a thermal scan would serve this roof very well. It'll find some of those hidden punctures, allow us to repair them all at once, and give you an idea of what can be saved on this roof in terms of insulation, because the roof membrane is getting to the end of its life cycle. There's no way to stop that punctures from happening with that thermal bridging of the fasteners. Thanks for taking a look, Frank.